Brother Hogan doesn't have need much of an introduction for most people. No. But anybody here has not ever been in one of his meetings before? See? There's a few of them that haven't been. Yeah. The rest of them, they all came back, so he couldn't scare them off. So that's good news for all of you that were here. I just met this marvelous lady yesterday. I was outside doing some weeding over here, and she drove up. She said, I just wanted to find out where I'm supposed to be tomorrow night, so I wanted to find out ahead of time where it was at. So then she said, do I have to wear a skirt here, or am I going to be okay? I said, you'll be okay, just the way you want to come. So I said, where about as laid back as the vineyard? She said, well, I don't really know much about churches. Yeah, that's a good thing. So then she says, you need any help? I said, yeah, as a matter of fact, I do. So then she started leading with me over here. And I said, well, I'm thinking. She doesn't know much about church. She's like, well, how did you hear about Brother Hogan? She said, well, I found out about the meeting online. And then she started telling me about some meetings that she was at with him out in Oregon, where she's from. She's here for the summer, but she's from Portland, Oregon. And so I was so blessed by her testimony. I was going to introduce him for people that don't know him, but I can't think of a better testimony or introduction than to just let her say what happened. So what was going on in your life before the first time you met this guy or went to his meeting?
Just real quick, we got people standing at the back. I just wanted to say, is there any open seats in here? Anybody got any seats here? We have some seats up front here, guys. If you want to come around, yeah.
Oh, there's one over there.
If you have an open seat, raise your hand, guys. I don't want these guys standing at the back. We'll get some chairs for you guys, but there was an open seat a couple open seats up front here, guys.
Yeah, and I want to double down on that announcement earlier that because of Brother Hogan's flight tomorrow, we want to start an hour earlier, so we're starting at 9:30 with worship tomorrow. So if you come at 10:30, he'll probably be getting just up. If you're late, it's your own fault, because you were. But we're going to start worship earlier, just to make sure we have enough time so that we can do it. So anyway, so Emilee, what was going on in your life before you prayed a certain prayer to the Lord and then He sent you there?
We gotta find some more
Well, I didn't have a job, I didn't have a family of my own, I didn't have a purpose. And so I told God if He would give me a reason to live, and He would show me that there's somebody who's not a tool or a freaking hypocrite, that I would do what He wanted me to do. And so He told me, well, there's this guy coming to town. I want you to go hear him. He's a friend of mine. He doesn't throw that word around lightly. So I was like, okay. And he said, promise me you won't let him offend you. You got to take him with a grain of salt. Actually, he said a salt lick. Like with ear. And so I went, and people were throwing their clothes up in front, and I didn't know what that was. And everybody, all the church people were like, oh, do it, blah, blah. And I was like, I'm not going to do it just because you told me to. And I had a bad attitude. And so I came up and asked, why are people throwing their clothes on the front? And he explained it to me. Okay, so apparently, you want me to tell you? All right, so in Acts 19:11, it says God did amazing and incredible, unusual miracles through Paul when handkerchiefs and aprons and cloths touched his skin. He empowered his skin. Well, when I found out that was a thing, I was like, oh my God. And so Mr. Hogan came up to me after. He said, wasn't I polite and patient with you, answering all your questions? And I said, yes, sir. And he said, do you know why I was so polite and patient with you? And I said, no, sir. And he took me in the cheek. And he said, because I can see the dead weight are coming out in you.
What'd she say? What did you say?
So I followed him up to Shelton, Washington, because I heard him speaking again. And he was talking about creative miracles. Like arms that aren't there. Going back. Oh man, I was just standing there, and I was like, I have to see that. And he said, well, I'm not going to pray for anybody about this because only 1% of you are going to do it anyway. And I was just standing there and I was like, I don't care. Then he stopped talking and walked down the road, and I was sitting way in the back because I told God I'm not pushing my way to the front like church people.
What did he look like while he was preaching?
He had clear flames coming off the top of his head, like heat on a hot street, bending the light. And I could see it because it was there, and I kept trying to see it from different angles. And it was there. It was the dangest thing I've ever seen. And so he came down the road, and he took his handkerchief.
Handkerchief
out of his back pocket, and he looked at me, and he slapped me upside the head with it and yelled, "Fire of the Lord," which is hokey unless it's real.
Come on.
Yeah.
So he hit me upside the head with his handkerchief, and all of a sudden, what's it called when you what's that called? Where you can see it's like a heads-up display in Fighter Pilot, where no matter where you look, it's there. And I saw
retina display.
thousands of people, all different colors of people, and they were all just looking at me, waiting. And I was just looking at it. I started bawling because I can't even, make an ice cream choice if the girl's looking at me across the counter. So I just started bawling, and I didn't know what they were waiting for, but they were waiting for me to do something. And all of a sudden, Jesus was there. I'm gonna get through it. And he was standing between. You would think I would be like, "Oh wow, Jesus," but my thought was, "Thank God you're here," because I had no idea what to do with all these people who are waiting for me to do something. And he was saying, "Will you go?"
Thank you.
And I couldn't look at him and say no, so and he kind of did the eyebrow thing. So and I said yes, and he grinned, and they all disappeared, and I was just standing there bawling because I know those people, and I know where they live, and they live in war zones, and I knew if I said yes, I may not come home, and I said yes. And then I told him if he was going to do that, he was going to make me do that, he's going to have to pay for it. And all of a sudden I was walking across the parking lot, and my friends gathered me to get some food because I was just shaking, trying to keep the church ladies away from trying to comfort me because I was like, I just gave my life away, I don't want you touching me. All of a sudden there's something in my combat boots, so I took it off. And he rolled out. I was like, thanks for the 1 penny. So since then I've been to India, almost got killed, almost got thought I had leprosy for a couple minutes, but I have to be a minister now. I have to be a missionary. You know how much I know about that? Zip. That God is faithful. And if he can do this for me and give me a purpose and a reason, whatever you need,